Hi there, my name's Ross Crawford and welcome to the Redditch Standard podcast. This week, we're delighted to welcome Theo Ellinas from, well, it's the Golden Carp Chippy, isn't it?
That's right.
The Golden Carp and the Whinyates Chippy.
That's it.
Theo, welcome to the studio.
Thank you very much.
I mean, you've won countless awards, haven't you? And now you're up for, let me see, it's the Midland Chippy of the Year, aren't you?
Well, no, it's the UK National Fish and Chip Shop of the Year award. But the thing is, what we've done, we've just got into the top 6 in our region. There's 10 regions in the competition. This is the 4th time in a row we've done that, and basically it's a top 6. Fight it out. Who's the best top 2? And last year, 2018. The top 2 shops were Golden Carp and Whinyates Chippy, and that's sort of never happened for the same person before. So again, it's a fantastic achievement because, like I said, it's teamwork. It is really hard teamwork and dedication, and you've got to really enjoy your job. It's not just about throwing a bucket of chips in. It's a bit more to it than that.
My goodness. So Redditch is the epicenter of fish and chips in the UK. Is that what we're saying here?
Well, look, we just do what we do, and it didn't really matter where it was, but because I've been in Redditch most of my life anyway, so yeah, I mean, yeah, you could say that, but obviously there's other good shops around as well in the West Midlands, and it's really, people in the last couple of years they've really, I don't know what's happened. People are sort of up in their game now. So there is a lot of competition, a lot of some good shops out there.
And it's not just judged on the chips and the fish, is it?
No. It's you get a mystery judge. Basically, they'll come and obviously they'll test you on the phone call, customer service on the phone. They'll come in and they'll see how the shop's laid out, the presentation of the shop. Staff are dressed up. They got their names on, and obviously they're going to be asking questions for the staff, like, for example, where do you source your fish? What type of potatoes you're frying today? You're frying medium, things like that. So I do implement staff development training. So staff are not sort of caught off guard, so they know what they're talking about basically for the customer.
Right, and the beneficiaries of all this are the people of Redditch, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're really passionate what we do. I mean, we enjoy it. We love the interaction with people, our customers, and it's basically, look, I'm nothing really without customers. It's as simple as that.
Wow. And tell me, how many potatoes do you get through in a day?
Oh my gosh, quite a few bags, but it just varies. I mean, obviously, in the last 2-3 months, the weather and things like that, it does sort of changes people's takeaway tastes and things like that. I mean, it just varies at the moment, but at the moment, it's quite steady now. It's quite strong, so it's good for everybody at the moment. Yeah,
and who's the poor sod that's got to peel all these potatoes? Or do you got a machine?
Yeah, we've got some dedicated potato lads. Obviously, my son Michael, he does the potatoes, and it's not a straightforward process. It's like I says, there is an art form to it. It's not just throwing them in the rumbler.
Yeah. Well, and tell me, what's the secret then of a good chip?
Okay. Well, whatever we do, we always source high quality products. It's as simple as that. At the moment, fish, we're paying through the nose. It's like worth its weight in gold at the moment. It is really, really expensive. So obviously, proper preparation and cooking, of course. It's not just about throwing a bucket of chips in or anything like that. I mean, look, I'm not gonna. There is an art to it, I suppose.
No trade secrets coming out here.
No, there's a way of doing everything. Everybody does their own thing. We just do what we do, and we got a system in place, and we just get on with it. That's it, really.
And secret batter recipe for the fish?
Secret batter, not really. Again, you got to beat it right. The one thing I'd say, we do put our water in the fridge. It's got to be no more than +4 when we take the temperature before we make the batter. That's a bit of a secret for you.
Well, I hope everyone's noting that down when they come to batter their fish. And I mean, obviously, I've been to your chip shop. I think they're fabulous chips, fabulous fish, and it's not just cod you do either.
No, we do. At the moment, there's a big thing because obviously we're MSC accredited. So
what's MSC?
Marine Stewardship Council. To be this, to be accredited like this is you've got to be inspected by a proper MSC officer, it's basically, to put it all in a nutshell. All these supplies, that means even the fishermen, everything's responsibly sourced, responsibly fished, and everything. Also, they have great consideration for the marine life as well. So we're thinking about the future. So at the moment now, we do use haddock, plaice. We're thinking of, we did do hake and also sea bass. So. The industry now, the sea fish industry, they're encouraging a lot of the people in this in the fish and chip industry to sort of diversify and try and put forward other types of species for the customers, because obviously we want to conserve the cod stocks. Yeah. Because at the moment, cod stocks at the moment, the fishermen have actually used all their quotas, and they're saying we have to wait till September because at the moment we're paying really expensive for cod at the moment now.
Yeah, well, personally, I'm a great lover of hake, and I know huge amounts of hake. We sell them to Spain. The Spanish love hake.
Exactly.
And, I go into a supermarket, and hake is cheaper than cod.
Yeah.
And yet, it's treated like gold overseas.
Yeah. The thing is, we are in England, we are so set in our ways. I mean, in the Midlands, West Midlands area, it's mainly cod. You start going further up north, they eat more haddock than cod, and again, and in the south, in London, it's a mixture of everything there. I mean, you can even get shops where they're selling eels and things like this. I mean, I'm even I've actually done some more. Ordered some fresh king prawns. I'm going to be starting putting that on the menu. So I'm going to be doing like call it an ocean basket, which is a combination of squid, king prawns, and little fish cod goujons. So it's just give a bit of variety for customers. And again, people don't really know that cod. If you think about it, you can't get any more healthy than cod. It's so good for you in every single way. That's why, hence, it's so expensive.
Yeah, and as you say, it's an endangered species as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's they're trying to replenish the stocks, but at the moment now, we're waiting for quotas now from the industry. They're saying they've used all their quotas now. We're going to have to wait till September. So I don't know. They're talking about maybe introducing, like you just mentioned, Ross, is hake. But we've got to push that forward to customers, and people are so set in their ways. It's very, very hard. Unless there was no cod at all, and all there was just haddock and hake, then people, it'll take a time, but people will have to. That's what they'll have to eat, I'm afraid. But the thing is, at the moment now, I like cod. I like all types of fish. Again, we're just we're at the mercy of the industry at the moment. So we're just trying our best with what we got now.
Yeah, it's strange you should say about endangered species and fish, etc. Because I was up in Scotland. I was at my ancestral homeland last weekend.
Yeah,
and the trawlers are coming in and they're loaded down with shellfish.
Yeah,
but it's all for export.
Exactly.
None of it's being used here.
No. I mean, they're saying they're getting better prices abroad. So look, it's about business at the end of the day. I mean, we're trying to sort of do things on a give great value for money. That's what we're trying to do as well for our customers. So it's hard. The last 2-3 months, I've been absorbing a lot of the costs because there was a time for a week my supplier would not sell me fresh cod because it was just too expensive. It was just ridiculous per stone. So in the end, I had to use fresh frozen fish for that week. It's not what I like to use, but it was okay. But so hence why there's a lot of things going on, behind the scenes, or people don't realise. I mean, the potatoes at the moment, they've settled down a bit now. But again, I'm on a contract price. So I'm paying maybe a little bit more than the market value, but at least I know what I'm paying. Whereas last year I was paying a market price and the potatoes are really sky high. So each year you sort of it swings and roundabouts. So basically you're paying the same anyway, year on.
Yeah, it just goes to show there's more to fish and chips than meets the eye.
Of course, yeah. It's that's why it's so important. What we do, we're really passionate what we do to the customers, and I like to think that people can see this and they notice it when they come into the shop. So,
well, and they taste the difference and appreciate what you're doing.
Yep, I'll bring you some later. Yes.
Right, obviously, Theo, you've also got a business in Wynyates, and you've got the Matchborough Golden Carp, and there you're a businessman, and there are redevelopment plans for both centres, aren't there?
Yeah, we're still in the dark, really. I mean, there was a meeting, I think 3-4 weeks ago, where the Redditch chairman came, Mr. Dorman, lovely guy, and obviously some members of the council, but and also especially from the planning department, the head of planning, Ruth Bromford, I think.
With Bamford.
Bamford, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
And I mean, the thing is, we couldn't really shine any light on it. There was no definite plans. I mean, it's a lot of hearsay at the moment. So there's nothing definite, which again, it's a very mixed. It's more, people are really more, for Wynyates, I think it makes sense because obviously there are a lot of flats above there. It makes sense to maybe refurbish that.
Do a revamp.
Regarding the centre, Matchborough, again, they're talking about sort of rebuilding a new centre next to it. And obviously, because I think the council got a target of 300 houses or something like that. But you've got to be realistic. I mean, at the end of the day, you've got commercial tenants in Matchborough and Wynyates. Now, when they're talking about knocking them both down and building one, well, you've got to think about including the doctors in Wynyates, you're talking 70 plus jobs there. Maybe even more, actually, if to be accurate. And it's about 60 jobs in Matchborough Centre. So if you're trying to take with one hand and then give with the other, I mean, they're concerned about housing. So if you're going to want to house another 30, 40 families, but at the same time at the expense of people, 70, 80 people, jobs losing, it doesn't make any sense to me. So I think people put forward their views, maybe refurbish Wynyates, maybe rebuild Matchborough Centre, and obviously it'll give them they were talking about certain areas where obviously it's a bit difficult explaining on the radio. They pinpointed some areas where they will get their housing, their 300 houses, which again, I'm very. As long as it's houses for our local people, that's what I'm very, very strongly, for. I don't really, I can't. It's a bit contradicting if you're building houses for not the locals. This is what I really don't. I can't really grasp really.
And I suppose the great thing about revamping Wynyates and say rebuilding Matchborough is that we keep two chippies, don't we? Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, they're two separate areas.
Yeah.
If you obviously you know Redditch, Ross. I mean, every centre's got, or every little estate has got its own shop or shops or parade of shops. So I mean, the thing is, family been there, Matchborough Centre about 45 years. I've been there but I took it over in 2015. And Wynyates, I've been there about 26 years now. They're totally two separate centres. We get a mixture of customers, but it's totally separate people altogether. And it's great because I'm one week I'm working at one, I'm working at the other. It's great interacting with people because I've known these people for many, many years. And, again, building one centre away, you got to consider the local, the elderly, because at the moment it's very convenient for they can just walk to the centre, go to the chemist or whatever they need to do, go shop at the supermarkets, fish and chip shop at both centres. Now building one further away, which where they were talking about, I don't think it makes any sense. You're not really helping the community. I think refurb Wynyates, maybe rebuild Matchborough. Hence, it'll give it more of a vibrant as well, because I'll spend a lot of money on my shop, a lot of money, because I'm trying to encourage people to come to centres, and that's what I do, and the other shops as well. There's other shops as well that do that. But council have got to take consideration of all these.
Yeah. To be fair to the council, I think the indication is they're going to keep the two separate centres, aren't they? And
well, it's not definite though.
No. Like you say, everything is still up in the air there, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not definite.
Yeah. Theo, that's great. Thanks for coming in and telling us all about the fish and chip industry, really, about cod stocks and about secret batter. Don't forget the batter recipe.
Anytime, Ross.
That's great. And I know you're going to stick around to discuss just a few news items.
Yeah.
But before that, we're going to go across to Claire, who's got all our entertainments for this weekend. And I'm sure the bandstand event, that's coming up, isn't it, this weekend? And I'm sure that will feature. Over to you, Claire.
For all the things to do and see this week, it's Claire Bullivant with this week's What's On Guide.
Thanks, Ross. Yes, we've got some really fun things to look forward to this weekend in the Redditch area. Starting off on Friday, the 9th of August, that's Paper Day, the day your standard is delivered. If you're looking for something fun to do on Friday night, I feel the most exciting thing to do is to go to the outdoor cinema screening at Cofton Court near Ulster. They're showing Bohemian Rhapsody, 7 p.m, doors open. Film starts at 9:05 p.m. It's a spectacular venue, a spectacular film. I feel like Queen in a very regal setting, in fact. It's going to be amazing. I can't think of a better Friday night. Get yourself there, take a blanket to sit on or some deck chairs and a picnic, and we'll see you there. Then on Saturday, the 10th of August, Upton Warren Sailing Club are inviting you to come and try sailing for absolutely free of charge. 12 noon until 5 p.m. It's at the Aztec Adventure Centre in Upton Warren. B61 7ER is the postcode for your sat-nav. It's opposite Webb's Garden Centre. If you know Webb's, of course you do. Everyone knows Webb's. And again, I'll stress it's for free if you say you heard about it on this podcast or saw it in this week's paper. Take the kids and have a fun afternoon sailing. Ahoy! Also on Saturday, it's the Bladder Cancer Ride 2019 with the Redditch Charity Bikers. This ride is in aid of bladder cancer, £5 per person. Arrive at 10 a.m. at B98 7RS, leaving for Raphael's in Evesham at 11, then back to the South Redditch Social Club for 2 p.m. They're a great group of biker guys and girls and a lovely biking organisation to be a part of. They certainly have a lot of fun and do a lot of really good things and charity events as well. So do get involved with them. I couldn't recommend them more. And it doesn't stop there on Saturday. It's a busy old weekend this weekend. It's also the Brummie Blade Bash 2019 happening at the Redditch Skate Park, the Redditch BMX Park, that is. B98 ODD, if you don't know where it is. Competition is the same format as last year with a girls' audition thing, a junior thing, and open categories as well. To skate the park, it's going to be £10 on the door, then £5 of that will go to the skate park, and £5 will go to the prize pot for the winners. So if you're a skater dude or dudette, get yourself over there for a really fun day on Saturday. And if you're any good, compete. Why don't you? We may just be featuring you if you win in next week's paper as well. Also on Saturday, there is a thank you tea party happening at St Nicholas Church in Ulster. They've asked me to tell you about 3 p.m. start there. This is a thank you for all the funds raised through their recent appeals. They've got all the money now. The renovations have either happened or are happening. They're really thankful, so they just want you to pop along and have a cup of tea and a piece of cake with them. 3 p.m. in Ulster. It's also the fabulous Redditch Bandstand event again on Saturday. This is #ActiveRedditch at the bandstand on the Church Green, B98 8BP, just outside our office, in fact. You can enjoy sports, dance, fun and games for all the family, including Zumba and boxercise. It's all going to be kicking off there from noon until 4 p.m. and it's absolutely free. Then in the evening, you need to head on over to the totally dynamite 70s disco happening at the Oust House in Redditch. The Oust House, redditch.co.uk is the website. It's a brilliant venue, brilliant atmosphere, and hello, 70s. You can't beat a bit of 70s on a Saturday night. It's going to be super fun. Moving on to Sunday, the 11th of August. Remember, it's the Studley car boot sale. B96 6ER is the postcode. Gates open there at 6 a.m. studleycarbootsale.co.uk for all the details there. Also, there's a Redditch Christa Delphinians talk happening on Sunday at 303A Birchfield Road in Webb Heath. This is a talk about the first century beliefs are our beliefs, apparently. 6 p.m. If you want more details, they're a great group of people. Redditch-christadelphinians.org.uk. Do get involved with them. And then what better way to end the weekend than with Alan's charity quiz night happening at the Bell Inn in Asperbank. 9 p.m. start. Every Sunday night. It's always a fabulous way to end the weekend and a fabulous night. Well done, Alan. We love you nice. And that concludes my favourite things to do this weekend. Hope to see you at all of them. Have a lovely week. And back to you in the studio, Ross.
You're listening to the Redditch Standard podcast because you have impeccable taste.
Hey, that's great, Claire. Thank you very much for telling us what's going on this weekend in Redditch. We're back with Theo. Hi, there's Theo.
Hi, hello again.
And just a few news items to talk about. I don't know if anyone's aware, but Matthew Hopkins, who's the Chief Executive of Worcestershire Acute Hospitals NHS Trust, he himself became a patient of the NHS last month when he had his second kidney transplant. So, first of all, we want to wish Matthew,
of course,
speedy recovery. And also, Matthew, he highlights the need for more organ donors, and especially with the laws changing next year in the spring, where there's going to be a presumption of, yes, I want to donate to try and, help people who are waiting on the donor register. But first of all, you've got to tell your family, because the family will still have the final say if anything happens to you. And you mentioned earlier that you're a blood donor, Theo.
Yeah, I've done it, but I haven't done it in the last year, though. I've done it here at the school is it the school over there? I forgot what it's called. Bridley-Moor, is it?
Bridley-Moor,
Is it Bridley-Moor?
No, sorry, Trinity.
Trinity, yeah,
yes.
sorry, yeah. I've been there for quite a few times. But yeah, I'm very strong with about this donor. I don't carry a donor card, but I've already explained to my family that if anything did happen to me, I'm quite happy for them to take my my lungs, heart, and all that stuff. I don't mind, but there's a little condition though. I've got to know that it's going to go. If it's going to go to a child, fair enough, no issues. But if it's going to go to somebody who's not really, how can I say?
I guess it's say a liver going to an alcoholic, maybe something like that.
Yeah, I'd rather go to somebody maybe they were born, they've had some problem which is not their fault, it's just fate. Then obviously I'm quite happy for them to go to people like that. I know it's I might get a bit of a kickback on this, but that's what I'm quite happy to give. But I like to know that I've told my family it's got to go to certain people. If it's got to go to children, no questions asked, not a problem. But obviously to go to the right people. I can't just give to somebody who's basically don't really, not really respect life or them or whatever they do in their lives. No, I can't do that.
Yeah, speaking personally, they can have whatever they want of me, and I don't really care where it goes as long as they help somebody. And, on the National Register at the moment, there are more than 6,000 people waiting for an organ transplant of some sort.
Yeah.
And of those, 4,877 are waiting for a kidney.
Yeah, that's not good.
No, it's not good. And you don't have to die to donate a kidney.
No.
I think they do a matching system. And I've got a donor card. Have you got a donor card, Claire? Claire's shaking her head. Claire, you ought to get yourself a donor card. And they can match people up, and hopefully, you can help save somebody's life. That's great. Moving on, staying on the health service, we'll all have heard that new Prime Minister Boris Johnson has been handing out the money. I think it's £1.8 billion or something to the health service. 850 million of which has gone to 20 hospitals, I believe. And our local MP, Rachel Maclean, she made a pitch in Parliament, and full marks to her for sticking her head above the parapet and saying to Boris, don't forget the Alex and don't forget Worcestershire Royal. Unfortunately, they weren't in the top 20 that Mr. Johnson had drawn up. But I had a word with, I was chatting to her yesterday, and Mrs. Maclean said that's largely because those hospitals that got the money, they already had building programmes in the works. And at the moment, Worcestershire Acute, they haven't actually got their sort of programmes set out. But there should be money in the pipeline, which will be available for the health authority to go for.
Maybe they need the money to start the programmes.
Well, that's probably right.
You know, you got to look at it. At the end of the day, a hospital is a hospital. Again, look, Boris Johnson, he should really focus here on. I mean, hospital's a hospital. Doesn't matter where it is. You've got to support it in every way. Not, and as you know, Britain they give money out to various countries throughout the world. We're talking millions and millions. We should really be focusing on us, the locals, Britain. Again, with Brexit, the whole idea of Brexit is getting our identity back. We should be focusing on us. That's what I believe anyway. So why we missed out, I've no idea. No idea. But but again, programs, we haven't got a program in place, but they should have, maybe they need the money to start the program, and I'm sure they would have, maybe got something from the government.
Yeah, and also just on Worcestershire Acute, I mean, they have had some difficult times, both financially and with the Care Quality Commission. Perhaps they just want to get their own house in order before they start moving on. Maybe
right. So yeah. I mean, I don't know I don't know if you know, Ross, who the people there. I mean, who are the directors there at the hospital? I have no idea. We're just locals. Anything to do with the hospital, we try and support things, I mean, whatever we need to sign, petitions, things, we're always there, myself and many, many other customers as well in the shop. So, it's a tough one, really.
Yeah, and we all want the very best for the local hospitals.
Yeah, especially when it's on your doorstep.
Yeah, absolutely. And Mrs. Maclean, she's in there and she's fighting to get some money, and hopefully we will get some. And finally, just to wrap up, there was an accident on the A435 yesterday at Mappleborough Green, 6 o'clock in the morning. Taxi and a car collide.
Right.
And residents in that area, and obviously in Studley further down, and Winyates Green, etc., they're all getting just a little bit concerned about the Redditch Eastern Gateway development. And the amount of traffic that is likely to throw on the roads. And I was at a Studley Parish Council meeting for my considerable sins last night. Okay. And one of the parish councillors was saying we should start taking numbers down of juggernauts that are using the Eastern Gateway.
Right.
And who are... They're meant to go around the Redditch road system. They're meant to either go up the A435 to junction 3 of the M42, or use the Redditch road system up Rough Hill Drive and then down the Slough, to avoid going down the A435. And I know, Theo, you were saying, why didn't they build this distribution centre by Junction 3?
Yeah, it just makes more sense because it's just literally next to the motorway, isn't it? I mean, why use all that? I don't know if it's classed as a green belt. Why?
It was green belt land.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, but they took it out.
You're joking. Well, it just doesn't make any sense. I mean, there's other... If you go towards the motorway, the M42, you can see plots of land. Just it's been bare for many, many years. I'm sure they could have done something there with it. I don't understand why they decided to build this distribution centre next to the it's next to the opposite
Winsmote. Yeah, it's by Winsmote.
Doesn't make any sense, really.
A435.
Doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, well, I don't think it makes any sense to local people who are going to have all the traffic as well.
Yeah, and you're saying about by the Mappleborough Green, they should, because the roads are very, very narrow there. They are very narrow. The thing is there, I think they should have some more speed, maybe not speed cameras, but sort of these locators what tells you to slow down or keep to a certain speed, because you don't want to, because there's already one in the near what is it, Hay Lane down there. There's a speed camera going towards Studley, I think. You don't want to implement more speed cameras, but maybe some warning signs to say slow down and things like that. People do take note when they see them pop up.
Yeah, I think they're trying to get some average speed cameras so that if you go down the A435 and you're clocked, and then you emerge at the other side of Studley, and you're clocked again, and then they'll work out just how fast you can.
Yeah, but I don't think people like this. People do like to
brother,
drive.
right?
Look, there's already enough rules and regulations in this world. We don't need any more. I mean, you got to understand as well, driving is people's pleasure as well. So, if it's going to be like rules and regulations in everything, we're not going to be able to do anything in this world. It's going to be hard. Maybe just enjoy fish and chips.
Yeah, why not? Why not? That's great. Theo, you've been a great guest today, and thanks for coming in. I know you've got to get back to...
a bit later on, I've got a few hours off to come in specially for Claire and Ross.
I don't know why I'm laughing, because these fish and chips are absolutely fantastic.
Thank you.
And I'm sure that...
we try our best.
Yeah, you do your best. I'm sure Claire's going to enjoy them too.
Yes, I'll bring some in when I get back. Definitely.
Theo, thanks once again. Thanks also to Claire, who's looked after all our sound and who's done all the re-recording whenever Theo burst into laughter, and for whenever I messed up, who's also looked after our leisure, and we'll see you all next week. My name's Ross Crawford. You've been listening to the Redditch Standard Podcast. If you want to get in touch with me, I'm on 01527 588 697. That's a direct line. You can email us at editor@redditchstandard.co.uk or ross.crawford@bullivantmedia.com. And don't forget to check up on all your local news and latest news at www.redditchstandard.co.uk. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.